6. Crocodile versus cow. Out for days, barra fishing in Kimberley, Western Australia, a few wildlife enthusiasts saw this massive crocodile dragging a cow down the river. They managed to get some cool drone footage of it before it dragged the cow underwater and disappeared. Wildlife enthusiasts parked up on the banks of a river in Western Australia tried their luck at barra fishing. Instead, this white floating mass moving from one side of the river to the other grabbed their attention. To get a closer look, they flicked their drone up, and it became clear it was the bluest steak on offer at lunch for these two salties. Bovine was on the menu for the foreseeable future, and these crocodiles had been living off this carcass for some time. The estuarine crocodile, more commonly known as the saltwater crocodile or salty, is unbelievable to witness in the wild. It was their first time seeing a saltwater crocodile in the wild, and boy did it make an impact. Watching these ancient reptiles gave all the onlookers goosebumps and a certain appreciation for their power and strength. They failed to catch a barramundi, but there will always be a next time. When this massive crocodile got hungry, instead of waiting for food to come to him, he went to the food, killed a cow in the open field and ate it, while the birds, probably traumatized, watched in horror. This buffalo can be seen escaping the grip of a crocodile, but when it comes out of the water, it can barely walk because one of its legs is literally missing. The crocodile ripped this buffalo's leg off. What a friendly creature. With some cows drinking at a peaceful waterhole, a crocodile suddenly shoots out of the water to snatch a smaller white cow. The cow is pulled into the water while the other cows watch, when a hippo decides to steal the cow from the reptile. 5. Alligator versus eagle, vulture. A bald eagle standing on a riverbank reacts quickly and takes off when an alligator attempts to grab it, as it lunges out of the water with its mouth open. In this video, a crocodile attacks a vulture at a waterhole, which leads to a dramatic encounter between the crocodile and the vulture, which the vulture evidently loses. Vultures are not every animal's favorite meal, but it seems like crocodiles and alligators don't mind eating them. But then again, these reptiles will eat anything in their path. When a bald eagle finds itself in the water, attacked by a crocodile, it manages to swim to the riverbank to escape, but it's not enough to save it from its gruesome destiny, as the reptile catches up to the bird of prey and kills it without a problem. Of course, being in the water was a huge disadvantage for the eagle. 4. Crocodile versus alligator. While on a safari in the Kruger National Park, safari enthusiasts decided to visit the well-known Sunset Dam during a mid-morning game drive. When they arrived, they discovered a massive crocodile with another smaller crocodile in its mouth. They had initially assumed they would simply fight and that would be the end of it. The croc was initially caught by its tail and was on the verge of escaping when the larger cannibal crocodile went in for another bite and sadly grabbed it in just the right place, making escape impossible. The whole thing lasted about an hour. When they returned to Sunset Dam later that afternoon, the larger crocodile was almost parading his kill around the dam, presumably relocating to a more suitable place to eat. A feeding frenzy ensued, with the dead reptile being chopped into bits and pieces. While it is not uncommon for crocodiles of this size to eat smaller crocodiles, it is not often that you get to see it happen. In this video, a crocodile has already killed a smaller crocodile and can be seen with the dead crocodile in its mouth, as it tries to shred it into smaller pieces to eat it. A massive alligator is busy swallowing a much smaller one in this video. The large alligator's head is almost bigger than the victim's entire body. Two huge 11-foot alligators can be seen fighting at a golf course in this video. These reptiles often fight this way in the wild, fighting for territory and mating rights like most other males from other species. 3. Crocodile versus monkey. A baboon is fighting for its life in the jaws of a crocodile in this video. I must say, the baboon's strength is incredible, especially considering the crocodile's tremendous jaw pressure. The poor baboon escapes, but it appears to be in excruciating pain, and there are no hospitals nearby. When a wildlife enthusiast arrived on site, he saw many baboons in the dry riverbank of the Tsavo River. He saw that there was a baboon in a puddle of water and thought the baboon was taking a bath, so he decided to record this unique sighting. Hence, he began recording, and after a few seconds, quickly realized how strange it was for the baboons to be extremely stressed just because their buddy was bathing. They began to scream like crazy when he tried to get out of the water because a crocodile was holding on to him. When he decided to move to try to escape, the croc kept pulling him back into the water to try and drown him. The baboon was lucky that the water level was low, so he could at least breathe and avoid being drowned. But in the predicament that he was in, I'm not sure which was worse, being drowned or being eaten by the reptile. Hundreds of baboons were cheering their friend on, but it would have been nice to see them help him instead. After several tries, the brave baboon finally managed to escape and rejoin the troop. His face had some visible scratches and contusions, but nothing a good plastic surgeon couldn't fix. If a group of baboons works together, they can take on a large cat, but I'm not sure how they'd fare in the water against a crocodile. This video shows how a swarm of baboons can destroy a smaller crocodile. Not all the baboons are brave enough to leap over the crocodile at the same time, but a few are braver than the rest, and once they do, the rest follow. Before swallowing its prey whole, a crocodile will shake the prey up and down to tenderize it. The bones must be broken, and the body must be completely limbless. A poor monkey was caught and crushed by a hungry crocodile in this video. The crocodile can be seen swallowing the primate out of the water. While on a safari in Sri Lanka's Yala National Park, a group of wildlife enthusiasts witnessed a rare occurrence. A mugger crocodile grabbed the arm of a gray langur as it drank water in the afternoon. The monkey's fight for survival lasted for over an hour. Eventually, the monkey was able to free its arm from the jaws of its would-be assassin. An audacious crocodile walks up to a monkey on land and manages to snatch the animal before returning into the water to finish it off. I'm surprised the monkey wasn't quick enough to escape. I mean, crocodiles are great swimmers, but they're extremely slow on land. 2. Crocodile attacks. Wildebeest. When wildebeest go to water holes to drink, they must constantly be wary of crocodiles. These massive reptiles can emerge from the water at any time and attack, as seen in this video. As the herd flees, one wildebeest is dragged into the water, and the herd comes to a halt to watch their comrades suffer. All the crocodile must do in this video is snag one of the wildebeests as they cross the river. In the end, it's a numbers game, and if it's not your time, you'll be lucky to live another day. But a crocodile separates one wildebeest from the rest and begins the annihilation process. Because the wildebeest are confused and thirsty, they must choose between drinking and potentially dying, or not drinking and potentially dying from dehydration. They return to the waterhole despite the presence of a crocodile armada, and a few more wildebeests are captured. This time, the herd bolts for good. The Great Migration never disappoints, unless you are a wildebeest, of course. This was one of the quickest ends to a good struggle in the Mara River. The wildebeest ended up between a rock and a hard place and was discovered by a crocodile that pulled it out of there to eat it. The Great Migration is the world's largest wildlife migration, with over 2 million wildebeest, zebra, and gazelles migrating from Tanzania to Kenya each year. The dry season causes millions of animals to migrate northward as bodies of water in the Serengeti dry up. Wildebeest must swim or wade across numerous rivers along the way, where many drown or become prey to crocodile attacks. Wildebeest do not migrate from the Serengeti to the Masai Mara to sightsee, and why would they, when nearly 250,000 wildebeest died during those crossings? 1. Crocodile versus impala. Impalas, like wildebeest, must drink on occasion and face the same dangers as all the other animals in the bush when it comes to facing crocodiles. They must be extra cautious because they are much smaller and weaker than wildebeest. They do, however, have one advantage over wildebeest, and that is speed. In this video, the crocodile leaps out of the water quickly, but the impala is not quick enough to avoid being caught. An unlucky gazelle is snatched at a water hole when a crocodile zooms out of the water to grab it. There were many other gazelles drinking at this water hole, but the others got away. After killing an impala, a crocodile parked itself on the riverbank and began to eat its lunch. After a few timid bites, the reptile grabbed what remained of the carcass and swung it into the air, shredding it to pieces so it could easily swallow the smaller chunks of meat. A few unsuspecting impalas are almost out of the water when a crocodile sneaks up on one of them and gobbles it up in seconds. It's too bad because the impalas were practically out of the water before the incident occurred. All these attacks were not easy to watch, but these reptiles need to eat to survive, and this is how they do it. Which one startled you the most? Thanks for watching, and see you next time.